Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Plays Crafts, and it's Friday. So, this Friday is a Friday Fun favorite. I can't promise you that for next week. Yeah, because next week we'll be on the road down to Pennsylvania to go to my daughter's house for a craft show down there. So, if there is a video next Friday, it's probably going to be a little quick video showing you how we set up. Next week's show is the one with all the little cubby holes. And I have an idea. We'll see how that works out. But it is Friday Fun Favorites. I didn't bring back the 2 items I finished. I finished 2 items. There's one. Working from the scrap bin. I used the Annie Caraway Art Loaf Cat tutorial. I did add a couple of extra rows because I wanted to get to a color change. So this is from the Michelle Cheyenne, Miss Shy Scrappy Yarn Challenge. I made a loaf cat, a rainbow loaf cat, with that long color change rainbow yarn. The other one, it's in one of these. Last night I sat out in my chair and I tagged so many things, and I forgot this one. Okay, there he is, right there. I also used the pattern that I use for swinging chickens to make. I was trying to make a mallard. Get your feet out of there. But I ran out of green, so he's a green and blue top mallard. Must be a fancy guy. And he's got the long legs on. I wanted to make up a basket, but I wanted his legs to show. So the basket has 2 little holes in the front there. I was making the basket in double crochet. So I did a chain 2, skip 2, where I put the holes. So he has a little swing. Yes, his wings need to go down into the swing. He has a little swing where his feet hang out. There we go. I made that last night. The scrap yarn challenge is winding down. Okay, so now, back to the reason we are here today. Would you believe it's 10:50? I've already done my grocery shopping, came home, put all the groceries away, including repackaging 12 pounds of chicken into serving, like, we'll have, these are chicken drumsticks. We'll have 4. Sometimes we'll have 2 each, sometimes we'll have 1 each, 1.5 each, leftovers, But 4 to 5 drumsticks is a good portion size to put in the freezer so we can pull it out. So I bagged 9 bags of chicken. Taking it from the big thing that I got on clearance and putting it into the bags. So it's been a busy morning already, but I'm pumped. I am ready to get the car loaded and get all this stuff done today. I'm going to clear my list and get stuff done. And I don't have my coffee. Eek! Need coffee? No. Okay, but there was one moment on the way home. On the way there, 2 deer. They didn't run in front of my car. They were smaller, and they just took a leisurely stroll across the road in front of my car. I'm just like, okay, take your time. That way I can check and see if there are any parents around here, any siblings, other deer, because usually they don't travel alone, but this time that's all I saw. 1 deer, 2 different roads. Okay. I am just going to grab, so I have my dinosaur bag. This thing is stuffed. And I think there are about 60 dinosaurs. I have 60 dinosaurs in my inventory. So I don't know if they're all here in this bag. No, some of them are in the $8 bin. But there's probably 20 different patterns in here. Guessing. We'll see. And then I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dinosaurs that I tried new patterns for this week. So if you don't have a cup of coffee or tea or a bottle of water or something like that, we may be here for a while. Get yourself ready. This is first in alphabetical order. And this is probably one of my biggest sources of dinosaur revenue to date, is the Ankylosaurus. This is a free pattern from Ravelry. Is this the one that's handmade by Halim? Or is that the... I think this is handmade by Halim. It's actually called Tom Anks, the Ankylosaurus. This one I made as part of my Grand Ami venture, where my granddaughters picked out the colors for me. But I've been selling these for $24 each, and they're selling. And they're fun to make. There is sewing involved. You have to sew on the head, the shield to the head, the shield to the back, the legs, the spikes, the tail. So there is sewing. And there's bobble work. You have to do bobbles. But all in all, it's fun. I like him. Okay, I'm just going to toss these guys on the floor and put them back in the bag later. I need a regular one for this to show this one. Okay, he may be on hold for a minute until I find the regular one. Okay, this isn't a freebie. This is from a book. This is from the book by Genna Tatu of No-Sew Mini Amigurumi. So there's her Triceratops from her book. No-Sew, I think you make or low-sew. It looks like you make the feet first and just crochet them in as you go. And the frill are those ears. No, the ears are down there. So it's got a couple bobbles up here. That works up quickly. I should make more of those. Okay, here we go. This is a Brontosaurus pattern I got off Instagram. Works up quickly. Once you get the hang of it, it can get a little confusing around the legs. There are good instructions for how to do it, but you got to pay attention there. Because you make legs 1 and 2 and you put them together. Then you make legs 3 and 4 and you put them together. And then you go all the way around that. You leave a hole for the tail. You're doing your decreases to get to the neck. And then going up, increases to make the head. So you got to be careful that when you're doing the decreases, that they're centered over the back portion. You got to make sure when you get up to here that your increases are centered over the front of the body. So as long as you're paying attention and making sure your increases and decreases are where they're supposed to be, you should be fine. And you can take this and turn it into a Bananasaurus. I went up, okay, put them together like this. I went about halfway up the neck, then changed to white, and the last row of yellows I did in, or wait a minute, was it, or when I did the first row of white, I did back loop only. So I had stitches left to go around and pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. So then I decrease like 4, 3, 2, 1 to make the peels. So Brontosaurus, Bananasaurus, those are free. These are all from the same pattern. Tanner, the Mini Triceratops by the Nicole Chase. They've been a good seller for me too. And I mean the versatility to just do them in one color with an accent for the frill and the ends of the arms and legs. He works up cute and ombre. And, oops, get your frill. Get your frill the way it's supposed to be, girl. Come on now. For some reason, this frill does not want to stay. Okay, get your frill. You can do them in color block. Use up your smaller scraps of yarn. Do the legs one color, arms another color, body and tail another, head. I left a hair in there. So, Tanner, the Mini Triceratops by the Nicole Chase. That one was from a kit. We're tossing that one. Okay, first I need the red guy. My bag of dinosaurs is tipping. Hang on. There we go. Stay. I found this pattern. I think it was on amigurumi.com. It was originally a free pattern on Instagram, but it was not in English. Amigurumi translated it and put it on their website. When I made this, it drove me stark raving mad. Because I think the head gets up to over 60 stitches. And then there's row after row after row of 60 stitches. It's like, I like the look of this. I do not like having to spend hours just on the head, hours on the body. So I did the math. And I cut it down to half size. These work up quickly. You know, I can sit down in a couple hours and have one of these done. So, I've made them in a bunch of different colors. There's probably more in here. Yep, there's another one. So that, the scaled down pattern is on my blog. It's cute little dino. I told in the post, this is originally on Instagram from this person, and it's on Amigurumi from this person, and this, I've got the basic body shaping and all that of this, but it's totally different numbers. Everything is scaled down to half size. I hope people don't think that that is stealing someone's pattern. I'm just downsizing it. I'm giving them credit for those like me who do not like who don't like rows that go over like 36 stitches. Okay, this guy, there are more in here. I'll have to find. Here's an empty bag. There's another empty bag. Where's the other guys from this pattern? Okay. Morgan, over at LA Crochet, oops, has an adorable pattern for a Splooting Triceratops. This is the only one that I have made up in bulky yarn. I think the frill and the tail have to be sewn on, but the legs are worked in as you go. And the bobble stitches for the 3 horns. I've made this one in the big yarn. This is what it looks like in worsted weight. So I've made a bunch of these. I don't know if I've sold any yet. I made a bunch of them, like 5 of them, just 4 or 5 of them to take to craft shows, and I might still have them. Oh, when I showed you the Instagram Bronto, and this is what he looks like in Bernat Blanket. This is the same pattern that I used for the Bananasaurus. Okay. There's 1, 2 of these. I think there are probably more. Yes, there's another Splooting Triceratops. This you just saw last week with my, he's down on the floor. He's down on the floor over there. That's why I can't find him. The pattern is called Sleeping Steg. I made it with the color change yarn, the same yarn I used for this cat. I think he started at green at the nose and went to red, orange, yellow, blue. Okay. This one is a strand of worsted weight and a strand of sport yarn held together. And this one is just the ombre. So another versatile pattern. You make it up in one piece from the nose to the tail. Then you sew on the legs and the spikes. So there's some sewing. This one is a paid pattern because it's mine. A couple years ago, I asked my, let's see, if it was like 3 years ago, she would have been 6 then, my 6-year-old granddaughter, to draw me a dinosaur. And I told her I would design a dinosaur from her pattern. And I don't know if I can come up with the original picture, but I call it the Aliyasaurus because it's from my granddaughter Aliyah. And whenever I sell one of these at a craft show, she gets $5. If I sell the pattern online, she gets $1. So that's the Aliyasaurus. Paid pattern. Hatching Dino by 1 and 2 Company. They are in their little eggshells still with spots on them. How'd I end up with 2? Usually those sell a little faster. I already did Brontos. That's another Sleepy Dino. Kevin! This is Kevin the dinosaur. Unusual construction where, this is like the body of one of my monsters, where you start with the legs and join them together and then just keep decreasing up to the top. You add the head, you add the tail, you add the spikes, and you got yourself a dinosaur. I think he's supposed to be a Stegosaurus. Thing is, the neck is so long that his head is sort of like, whoop, 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 whoop. Kevin likes to bob his head around. Okay, got any other freebies in here? That's from a Temu pattern. You saw that one already. This one was a free pattern on Instagram. Phoebe. I don't know. Because I am so used to yarn over, my color changes don't work out. My color changes tilt. I need to, when I'm working on color changes, I need to do yarn under to make sure that they're straight. But it's sort of cute. I don't know. I made one. It was a 1-up. Somebody else might like them, but What are these guys? Mary makes little T-Rex. The original pattern has stripes on the back where you're doing your color changes at the beginning of the row, where sometimes you've got you're ending in your contrasting color and then you're starting the next row in your contrasting color and then switching back to your main color, and it got me so confused. So I like to make these in ombre so that I can avoid the color changes. I think this is Tilly the Triceratops. Free pattern. I think on Instagram. I will have to check up on that one. That one should have a tag on it. That one lost its price tag. I think this one is also Tilly the Triceratops, worked up in bulky yarn. I'm running out of room. There's my Dinosaurs tag that is supposed to be on the handle of this bag, but somehow it fell off. We did that one. We did that one. That one's from a book. What's this one? I think this is also the Mary Makes T-Rex, but instead of doing stripes on the back, I put spikes where I just crocheted like a chain of 5, then slip stitch, single crochet, half double, and then chain some more and sewed it on. Because sometimes you don't want to make individual spikes and sew them all on. That's Tilly. That's a kit. That's Tilly. This is a pattern from Yarnspirations for a chubby dinosaur in stripes. I'm not quite sure how I feel about him. Eventually, I will find someone who loves him. He also needs a price tag. So I'm going to have to be putting some price tags on stuff before I put it back in again. That's from a book. That one you've seen. That one you've seen. That one you've seen. I think... Okay. I showed you the hatching dinosaur from the paid pattern from 1 and 2 Company. There's also... Why are there 2 price tags? Somebody lost their price tag. There's also the dinosaur who has not hatched. He's just got his feet out of the eggs. So when I put them on the table, I try to put them together. But everybody keeps buying the big brothers, not the little guy. Not the unhatched guy. This is Chubby Blue. Okay. That Yarnspirations dinosaur. This is where that tag came from. I'll try to get that back on his tail and hope it stays this time. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the freebies that I made up this week. All of which you've probably seen in other videos, but we'll go through them just because we're going to get all the dinosaur patterns together in one spot. T-Rex, otherwise known as Dino in a Teacup by Skein Spider. It was a YouTube tutorial. She has the tutorial going on where she's making it, but up in the corner she's got the text for each row that's slowly scrolling through. I went through and I did screenshots. I do a screenshot of about 15 rows at a time. Paste that into a Word document. Get the next 15 rows. Put that into a Word document. So I thought it was going to work up a lot smaller. It's a big teacup. These need prices, so I have to keep them out of the other thing. Storyland Amis had this Stegosaurus pattern. A little bit more sewing. Does that? No, I think that's all one piece. From the start of the... I think you start at the back of the tail and work your way up to the head. And then you sew the legs on, and you make up the spikes and sew the spikes on. Price tag needed goes up there. Darling Maple Designs had this pattern for a flip-flop dinosaur. Now, I didn't use regular safety eyes. I went with the kawaii eyes. I don't know if that works out as well as it should. And she had just lines embroidered across, like between the rows. And I decided to do the little scaly type embroidery. So it's not exactly like the pattern. I should make another one. She also has a flip-flop triceratop. I got that out without messing up the words. Yay! Next, let's do the little guy. This is a mini dinosaur pattern by Ami Vue Studio. I'll put it up there because I have no idea how to pronounce that V-U-I in the middle. I did change this around a little bit. Yeah, he's over there. Okay. Instead of making 5 little spikes to put down the back, I did my little spike chain as usual. And I was like, I don't want to sew on the arms and the legs. So I made a second one where I just put in the arms and the legs as I went. I also tried something different for the belly. I think maybe I should do just the circular belly. Maybe take it down a row to make it a little bit smaller, make it fit better. What did I do here? I think for the arms, I did like a chain 7, double crochet in the 3rd stitch from the hook, then 1, 2, 3, then I chain 3 and slip stitched back in the 1st chain to make these arms that are sort of flat and skinny. And then I'm not quite sure. I think I did 3 double crochet, a 3 double crochet bobble where I chained 3, make a couple of double crochets, and then slip stitch back in the bottom for the feet. It's written on the pattern. So, okay, got that one. Those are going over there. Then, remember Tanner the mini Triceratops? This is Archie the mini Ankylosaurus. He's got, okay, I did vary from the pattern here. She has you, once you're all done with everything, she has you doing a little white embroidery to put on thumbnail, or not thumbnails, fingernails, toenails. I did a color change for bobbles for those. You know what? Don't color change the stitch before your bobble. Finish the stitch before, make your bobble, and then pull your main color through over the bobble, and it ends up with a neater. I always used to change my color before doing the bobble. Here we go. See this one? Get my price tag out of the way. Hang in there. You see how there you've got like a little thing that goes up over the bobble? Now here, you don't have that. It's cleaner. Here we go. Okay, so Archie, the mini Ankylosaurus. There is sewing involved, but she's very good with showing you exactly what to do, because you make the head, the body, the head's one piece, the body's a piece, arms and legs, they have to be sewn on, tail has to be sewn on, back shield has to be sewn on, head shield has to be sewn on, 4 spikes have to be sewn on, but he's cute. And I think somebody who recognizes him as an Ankylosaurus will probably snap him right up. I need to get him on Etsy. After 2 weekends of shows in a row, I'll get him on Etsy. And then last, but certainly not least, because he's a big guy, is Dylan the Dinosaur. Dylan is a pattern that's free on the Phoebe website. I have fun with that. Phoebe. You have to find your joy in little things. Like when I was coming home from shopping today, and I'm driving down this major road to locals, Clinton Street, and there's a young blonde, and she's jogging along. And as I go past her, she's passing a field with a bunch of cows in the field, including some little cows who were sort of having fun, romping around to the fields. She's looking at the cows. She wasn't looking out the road, watching the traffic whizzing by. She's looking at the cows with just this look of joy on her face, and she's waving to the little cows. The joy was contagious. So find your joy in little things. Okay. Dylan. Where was I, Dylan? Where did I go rogue on this pattern? I didn't use safety eyes. I embroidered them because, I don't know, this just looked like a squishy baby toy type pattern. There were supposed to be 2 lines here for the nostrils. I went and I did surface crochet some little bobbles, and I think I would do that again, only I would put them up a little higher. I would put them in the 5th row. And I think these were 3 double crochet bobbles. Maybe I'd just do 2, just to get that little bit of a bump for the nostrils. There were only supposed to be 5 spikes. But being I've been crocheting for 50 years, I don't need to pin all the pieces on before I sew. I got this spike, and this spike on. And I had 2 left to go. And I thought, okay, how am I going to do? Like this spike I was about to sew on in the middle of the back. And then I would have sewn this one in the middle of the tail. It's like, I have 1 left over. So I went back up and I squeezed another spike in here. I moved this one up closer, did this one closer, and this one back here. I was also having a problem with Archie. Let's see if I can get a flat surface for Archie. Archie, when I put him down, was going bloop and tipping forward. So Archie needed just a little bit more weight in his backside. A little more junk in the trunk. So this spike actually has a glass bead in there. One of those, the flat bottom glass beads that you put in vases, or when you're playing Mancala, the little polished stones. I could have put like a polished stone in there, something like that. But just to give him a little extra weight to keep him balanced better. So, as far as I know, I'm all out of dinosaurs. And this is over half an hour. So, I hope you enjoyed the dinosaur roundup. Now comes the fun stuff. I have to get these guys back in the bag. I have to put price tags on the ones that don't have price tags. I have to edit the video and get all of the pattern links into the description. And I have to pack the car for tomorrow's craft show. Everything's a mess. But it's still only 11:22. Got the whole day to work on this. I can do it. You may see this shirt again, because if I get this video edited and uploaded to YouTube so I can delete it from my phone, I might do another video today So I have something to upload for the morning. I already know what I would upload. I already know the subject. Just so I have something for tomorrow. It would be scheduled to premiere while I'm at the craft show tomorrow, because I don't know if I'll have the time or the energy to make a video tomorrow. If I do, it'll probably just be a little like, here's the booth. So that's it. I'm just checking to see if I got my shirt on backwards. It looks weird. It looks like the neck is too high. It's not. It's not backwards. I have been known to do that. Like put a shirt on backwards, put a sweater on inside out, put a dress on inside out. Yeah. But apparently, I'm all in one piece today. And I need to go work on my to-do list. Try to get all these dinosaurs, wrangle all these dinosaurs back into the bag. Edit the video. Have some lunch. All that fun stuff. So, bye-bye.